Hundreds of ancient temples were built in Cambodia during the Khmer Empire. Most of them were entirely finished with amazing design, carvings, inscriptions. However, one temple was never finished. That was the Ta Keo temple. Why was it unfinished? Why was this temple built? When? By whom? The following will answer all your questions. Ta Keo is a temple mountain in Angkor Archaeological Park, just to the east of the ancient city of Angkor Thom, Siem Reap, Kingdom of Cambodia, possibly the first to be built entirely of sandstone from the end of the 10th century to the early 11th century during the Khmer Empire. This temple constructed to dedicate to God Vishnu. Jayavarman V was 10 years old when he succeeded his father, Rajendra Varman, in 968. His entire years of reign were turbulent, and the court officials dominated the royal politics. When he was 17 years old, in 975, he began the construction of his own state temple, whose modern name is Ta Keo. That was dedicated sometime around 1000. In contemporary inscriptions, it is called Hamagiri or Hamasringagiri, the mountain with golden summits. It remained unfinished until the reign of Suryavarman I. Yukiswara Bandit, a high priest who became minister of Suryavarman I and received the temple from him many years later, says in inscriptions that a lightning strike hit the unfinished building, an evil omen, so the work stopped. Maybe work stopped simply because of the death of Jayavarman V, as there was a struggle for succession. The temple worked continuously as a cult center until the 13th century, and even Yukiswara Bandit worshipped the shrine at the first levels of the temple. A term tightly linked to Hamasringagiri is Jayendranagiri, which in Sanskrit means capital of the victorious king. The royal palace or maybe the new capital city of Jayavarman V. However, the remains of this large hypothesized inable are very scarce. Today, only a tower in the southwest survives, similar to the corner towers of Ta Keo, with an unusual single door to the south. An unusual aspect of this temple is that it remains unfinished. The reason for its no completion is unknown. Had it been finished, Ta Keo would undoubtedly have been one of the finest temples at Angkor. It is an imposing sight, scaling 22 meters to the sky, and gives an impression of tower. Ta Keo is the first temple built entirely in sandstone, and as such serves as a milestone in Khmer history. Enormous blocks of stone were cut to a regular size and placed in position. The absence of decoration at Ta Keo gives it a simplicity of design that separates it from the other monuments. Ta Keo is square in plan with 5 towers arranged like the dots on the face of a die and stands majestically on the terrace that is 12 meters high with 3 tiers. The temple is a representation of Mount Meru. The base has fine molding. The temple has 2 enclosures within 3 towers on each side. There are inscriptions on the pilasters of the east entry tower. The first 2 tiers of the platform form the base of 2 courtyards. One is enclosed by a wall, the other by a gallery. The gallery is too narrow to permit walking around. The east entrance to Ta Keo is marked by a causeway over a moat that is preceded by lions and boundary stones. The entry tower in the exterior wall was made of sandstone with a central tower with 3 passages. On each side of the east wall, there was a long hall that was probably a shelter for pilgrims. It was preceded by a porch with pillars. The second terrace has a molded laterite base with 4 sandstone entry towers, one on each side. It is surrounded by a sandstone gallery lit by windows on the interior. The gallery completed surrounds the terrace and has openings on each of the 4 sides. On the east, there are 2 long halls of the same type as the rest halls on the first terrace. 2 libraries open to the west. The upper low wall is square and stands on a tile base with stairways on each side. Most of the space on the upper low wall is occupied by the 5 towers, all unfinished, opening to the 4 cardinal points. The central sanctuary dominates the layout. It is raised above the other towers and is given further importance by the development of the porches and pediments. The interior of the central tower is undecorated. Ta Keo remains a mysterious and impressive monument, offering visitors a glimpse into the architectural prowess of the Khmer civilization.